Doulas are birth workers who provide non-clinical support. And what that looks like is along your journey, it's emotional support and making sure that you feel good and that you have someone to lean on emotionally.
They're like spiritual cheerleaders, spiritual birth cheerleaders. They're holding space for you and your partner. It's really a beautiful thing.
The tools to ask the questions, seek the information and the support necessary for you to thrive. These are all things, right, that the doula provides.
For those that are listening that may have never heard of a doula, can you explain what a doula is and the role of a doula in the birth scene?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I love talking about this work because it's accessible to all of us. Like you just mentioned that, you know this process to be so beautiful, even though you haven't physically experienced it. But there is an imprinting that we all have from just collective experience, right? Like that you don't have to have felt it through your body to know that it's power, right? Or you don't have to have felt it through your body to be able to support someone who's going through that experience and that rite of passage, right? And so, because there is a collective body, there is a collective memory and consciousness of what this experience and rite of passage is for all of us. And so that is available to each of us who are open to receive that and be at the service of someone who's crossing this threshold, right? And so when we avail ourselves emotionally, when we do our healing work to prime ourselves to be people who are safe and who are clear in terms of our energy, we can really show up to be safety containers for people who are going through this transformative experience. And so doulas are birth workers who provide non-clinical support. And what that looks like is along your journey, it's emotional support and making sure that you feel good and that you have someone to lean on emotionally. It's educational support. So making sure that you have skills and information about the process as you go through it. It's psychological and mental support, for those of us, especially in the times that we're living with COVID-19, the stress and anxiety that people go through, being able to have someone help you to metabolize that. There's partner support. If you have a partner present that you want to be involved in that journey with you, your doula is going to be able to help your partner learn things that'll ready them for the journey. And advocacy, right? And so being able to advocate for yourself and have the tools to speak on your own behalf, the tools to ask the questions, seek the information and the support necessary for you to thrive. These are all things, right, that the doula provides, right, in the scope of service. And it's also part of really, I would say, meeting the need that exists right now in the way that we conduct ourselves in this sort of modern, advanced paced life, right? We're all living at this accelerated pace. We're all living very far from where our family members are. We don't live in intergenerational households where we have our elders and young people and people of all ages with us. We're not in villages like we used to be. And so we don't have village keepers who can look after us at these major life transitions. And so a doula can fill that void by showing up and being with you and supporting you through a journey if your parents are on the other side of the country or the other side of the earth, right? A different country. A doula can help you to, create that connection, that safety if you don't have siblings or they're too far away, if your family can't get to you, right? So it's like they're filling that space that, family members used to support. Or I would really say there was always wise women, who looked after, women in the villages and in the communities and who supported them through these moments. And so, the work is ancestral. It's not new, but I think there is a new sort of, a new gaze upon it that allows people to enter into this field, to do the work, but also allowing people to enter into this space and see people that could be of service and support them. And so our commitment is to educate and to create more access and to help more doulas become financially astute and able to support themselves. We want to make sure that people who are in the birth work community and healing arts, can move out of positions of poverty. A lot of people who do healing arts like yoga and, Reiki and healing modalities, massage therapy, doula work are, suffer economically, right? Because they don't have the business acumen and business skills. The work is undervalued by our society. And so part of what we're trying to do is make sure that we get people to a place where they have the tools necessary to thrive as business people who are also doing good for the world. It's very important to be compensated for your gifts. And it's very important also for us to start placing the value on this work that's been so undervalued by society, but is so important to make sure that people come on the other side of this experience happy and thriving.
Yeah, absolutely. They're like spiritual cheerleaders, spiritual birth cheerleaders, aren't they? They're there
Yes,
by
I
your
love it.
side. They're cheering you on. They're holding space for you and your partner. It's really a beautiful thing. I've had lots of friends who have had doulas at their birth, and they said it was transformational, and they were so glad that they had a doula. I've never met anyone that said, no, you know what? I didn't need that person there.
Yeah.
So everyone, I remember I was chatting to one of my girlfriends who's pregnant with her third at the moment, and she had a doula for her second birth. And I said, are you going to get one this time? And we were chatting about that. And she said, there was one point in the birth where her doula came up to her and whispered something into her ear that just gave her so much confidence and courage to just get through that last little bit of birth. And I thought, wow, what if you didn't have that? What if you didn't have that?
Yeah.
How would that have unfolded? And she was like, I'm so grateful I had that. So I think the work of doulas is so important, and something that if someone listening has never heard of, really look into, consider getting one if you're pregnant or if that's something that you want to do down the future. Think about it, look into it. And they are such a beautiful space holder and spiritual cheerleader for so many women during that process.